All right, we are live, and I'm going to rub my hands because I like to do that. And for some reason, the Aerosmith song, Take Me to the Other Side, popped into my head as I was preparing the live stream for this. So, do, take me to the other side. All right. Don't know why that popped into my head. It had nothing to do with what I'm planning to talk about today, but here we go. Hey, I just wanted to jump on here real quick because I'm sure if you are like me, you love music. And it's a way for us to get entertained. But did you know that you can actually use it as a tool as well, right? Which is actually pretty fun for me because, like I said, I enjoy music, listening to it, playing it, researching and learning more about it as well. And, I think we all understand the importance of music, right? I mean, even when you're watching a movie, you hear and they play music in the background, right? To be able to get you into different emotional feelings and other things like that. So there's a lot of power in music. And like I said, I always understood and loved it for the entertainment value, right? Like my little Aerosmith do do do, right? And again, if you're familiar with that song, it's probably playing in your head right now. So don't worry, I'll try to put a different song in your head, okay? But I wanted to come on here because I think a lot of times most people don't realize that you can actually use music um, to change your emotions, but it's also a way to connect with spirit and get answers. Okay. And so I'll just share with you a little thing. I was talking with a friend of mine the end of this last week, and this friend of mine is very connected to nature. Okay. She can talk to the trees. Okay. So there we go. Right. And she talks and she can hear what they're saying back to her, right? And I know some people can do that. Some people hear or get messages um, by being able to do that through telepathy with animals, with other people, with trees, plants, right? And so I was talking to her and I'm like, hey, help me learn how to do this. And as we were sitting there talking, because we both used had the same mentor, and she said, I just heard music, not trees. And I'm not sure what that means. And I said, no, I think you know what it means. That here I was wanting to learn more about how to speak to the trees, but the answer was, Jason, for you, a lot of how you do this is through music. Okay. And so that's why I'm talking about this as well right now. Right. And some of you are going to go, this is fucking crazy. And okay, fine. But let me share with you, because I wanted to show you this too. I got this new little tool that I'm going to actually share a little bit about. But let me just talk about what happens to me often, and it happened again this morning. And it happens not every day, but several times a week. I will go to bed. I'll have a question. I'll be, doing different work, need to have some answers. And a lot of times I will wake up in the morning or during the course of the day, there is a song that pops into my head or some lyrics or a tune or something. And so what I've learned to do is I just go and listen to the song. So, like this morning, I got the song "The Voice" from the Moody Blues. Was what actually popped into my head when I got up. I went out on the back patio to enjoy my cup of coffee, and that song was in my head. And I'm like, huh, okay, that's funny. So I put it on, put in my ear pods, pulled out my phone, and started listening to the music. And what I'll typically do is I actually watch the lyrics. So I use Apple, and so on their Apple Music, a lot of the tracks you can kind of watch the lyrics if you go into the detail of the song. So I was sitting there watching the song, and I might do a podcast on that in the future and actually have to play it with a good guitar. There we go. There over there. It's a great song, and it's one of those songs that I never really I just always kind of enjoyed. I mean, I was listening and it's kind of got a nice little beat to it and kind of bopping around, but I never seriously looked at the lyrics. And so I'll put a song on, I'll listen to it, watching the lyrics, and usually I'll do this 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I think today I probably listened to it about 5 different times in a row. I actually went to watch the video. If you can, if there's actually a video that goes with it, it's great to watch because a lot of times there's other things that you can get from the video itself because it adds an extra visual element to it. But this one, it was kind of like a stock. It just showed the picture of the album cover on YouTube, so it didn't really do that. Where other songs like "Losing My Religion" from REM, watch the video if you're going to listen to that one, or if that's one that jumps out at you because there's a lot of other messages in the video besides the music itself. But anyway, I digress a little bit on that. But let me explain. So as I was going through, there were certain parts of the lyrics that really jumped out at me and that I could feel. So I actually got tingles in my body through part of the song. And as I listened to it over and over again, there were several of the lyrics that kind of answered questions that I had. But it also was a way for me to connect more with spirit, right? Because again, I know sometimes, we feel like, well, am I really doing it or how do I do it, right? Well, how did I do it? First thing, thought comes into my mind about that song, I hear it, right? So I'm hearing spirit say, Jason, you need to go listen to this song right now. Okay. So I say, okay, I allow, I go and listen to it and I do my part, right? It's giving me kind of that inspiration of there's a message in that song that you need to hear. Go hear it, right? So I have to do my work. I put in my headphones, I go out, I listen to it. I listen to it, like I said, multiple times. And as I'm doing it and kind of asking myself, what is it that I need from this song? What is it that I am supposed to hear? And sometimes it's the music itself, right? It's the notes that are playing and it's the way that it calms my body or gets me excited or whatever it happens to be that I need to have that day. Sometimes it's the lyrics themselves. And like I said, obviously that song kind of got me da 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 bup, 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 bup. Anyway, I'm not doing it justice, so I'll stop and gosh you the pain. But but there were things in the lyrics today that, like I said, answered some questions, gave me deeper insight into some of the things that I'm doing as I'm evolving and as I'm growing, and was teaching me lessons from that as well. Okay. And so, again, that's just one of the ways that I'm using music. And like I said, I've been doing this for quite a while. And so I've started to learn, I'm using different tools. I've geeked out and I'm quite a nerd when it comes to things around music, not just, understanding sometimes the stories behind music and why those songs were written, because to me that's just fascinating, or learning more about different bands or musicians themselves and how they're playing it and all of that kind of stuff. That's fascinating and I love that and I love sharing that as well. But also in just understanding how deep music can be to actually be able to change our emotional state, but also help us to heal, right? As well. So one of the things, one of my friends, Cynthia, shout out to Cynthia, is she just picked up this called Now tone therapy system from Solu that I just got. It's actually still in the shrink wrap, so it's like those little. Have you ever seen those videos on YouTube where it's like somebody's opening a box? So Jason's gonna open a box now. Right. Okay. So anyway, um, get the shrink wrap off of it here. But what this does, and again, I'm going to just have to have the sound effects with it too. I'm going to practice, right? Because I never tell you guys anything. So I'm not endorsing this. I'm not telling you to go get it. I haven't used it yet, right? But I plan to, and then when I do, then I'll share with you, right? So anyway, open it up. It's got the nice little, all the stuff that I'm supposed to read at the beginning, but since I'm a man, I probably won't read the instructions because men don't read instructions. But anyway, what this is you can kind of see here, there are these two speakers that I'll get out. They're actually pretty heavy too. Okay. So they're two speakers. Okay. They're actually pretty nice looking. And there's an on switch on the bottom and volume, it looks like. And so what you do is, what this tool is intended to do is to help you meditate for only 3 minutes, but get the benefit of a 30-minute meditation. So, when you're meditating and you're trying to kind of quiet your mind, close out, just think of nothing, that can sometimes be pretty difficult to do. Okay. And so you kind of fight yourself for the whole 30 minutes, like trying to be present and be in the moment and not have your mind wander to what you had for breakfast, or, oh my gosh, what am I going to have for dinner? Or I can't believe so-and-so said that to me, and all that stuff, right? All those thoughts that we're trying to wash out. And so what this does is they use tones. So again, music, right? Tones, frequencies. And what it actually does, or at least the way I understand it, like I said, I haven't done a bunch of research on it because it was recommended to me and I got it, because that's the kind of guy I am. I just jump in and do things. But effectively what happens, and because there's the two, right, it's almost like binaural beats where you're getting different sounds coming out of each of the speakers. And so the way your brain is kind of processing it's all kind of randomized. And so you're kind of, I think, focusing on the moment, because you don't know what the noises are going to be anyway. So I'm gonna research more about this. I'm gonna actually play with them. And why am I doing that? Well, because I'm a geek and I love doing it anyway. But the other reason is because I'm doing a master class on music and how you can use music to help you change your emotions, right? So again, think about when you're watching a movie and all of a sudden you just kind of feel sad. It's a sad part in the movie. And you're not sure why you feel sad, because you just feel sad. There's nothing to feel sad about. But it's a part in the movie where they want you to feel sad. And so if you listen, there's music going on in the background that's sad music to make you feel sad, because they need you to feel sad or empathy at that point in the movie for whatever is going on, right? On the flip side, you can do it with feeling happy or other things. In fact, there are certain frequencies that are associated with and work with literally parts of your body. So if you're familiar with your chakra system, there's actually frequencies associated with each of the chakras in your body. Wouldn't it be nice to know what those were? And you could start incorporating those in some of the things that you might be doing already. And I will tell you, it's like jet fuel on doing some of these things when you add in that musical and frequency component to it as well. Okay. The other thing is those frequencies also are associated with certain emotions as well. So there are certain things that if you're feeling a certain emotion, you want to feel something else, there's ways that you can use music that literally only takes a couple of seconds to start helping you feel different and get you into the emotion that you want. So I think I put in the top, but let me put here in the comments. Oh, hey, there's a comment too. Hi, Muhammad. Yes, Muhammad says if the music is pleasant, then we get attracted to the lyrics. We do, definitely, right? Yeah, and there's a lot to that too, because actually sometimes music that is not pleasant will actually do certain things to your body that you actually want it to do. So there's a way to use dissonant music to actually do some things as well. Like I said, that's the kind of stuff that I'm going to get in deeper in this 4-week masterclass that I'm going to do that starts on the 21st of November. So that's another reason why I'm talking about it. But there was, I think I put it in the comments or in the, what do you call it? The description of the video. But here I'm going to post it in here as well. So you can go out and take a look at that if you're interested. Like I said, it's starting on the 21st. So if you're interested, go check it out. There's actually a call that I had with last week, the week before, where I talked for about an hour and a half about some of the things, just kind of in general, that we're going to be talking about more in this course coming up. Mary Ann, it's good to see you. Yeah, Mary Ann says, and it helps you meditate like drumming music. Drumming does as well. So I've got 2 different drums over here. You can't see them because I have to put everything strategically out of camera view, right? So I look professional. But I'll talk about drums a little bit too, because Mary Ann, I know you use a drum. I think I've seen you playing a shamanic drum before. I've got a shamanic drum. I've also got a hand pan as well that I'm going to be going through as well. So, hey, Robert Berry and Rochelle Anderson are here too. It's good to see you both. Woo, 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 woo. Anyway, I like you guys. Guy and gal. There we go. Okay. So where was I at? This is the thing with lives, right? It's like Jason just starts talking and all of a sudden it's like 17 minutes later. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so where was I going? So yeah, because you can actually use things like drums. And again, I know sometimes when I talk to people, they're like, oh, I really like music, but I can't sing or I can't play an instrument. Well, there's instruments you can play. Something like drums, and a simple drum is actually something that anybody can play and use in different beats and other things like that I'll actually share more about. I've got a whole bunch of things. In fact, here is one right here. Ooh, right. This is a little musical tool called a love tuner. And the reason it's called a love tuner is it's actually set for 528 hertz, which I'll explain more about in the course, actually, what that is. But a lot of people call that hertz frequency the frequency of love, because it actually does heal your body in certain ways and helps you feel more love in general. But it's one of those where it's like, well, 528 hertz, how do I do that, right? Well, you can buy an expensive crystal bowl. Again, out of camera view. Oh, this is what it looks like, though. Look at this one, right? You can listen to it on your phone. I've talked about that in some other previous videos. But you can also get something like this, which I think is $70 or $80. And it's effectively like a little whistle. It's kind of like a whistle. So if you pull it out, it's got this nice little neck thing so you can put it on so you can carry it around with you during the day. But if you look at it, you can see, let me get into the right place here. You see how it kind of looks a little bit like a whistle. Whoops. Everything is backwards on the camera. So there we go. And then all you do is blow into it. But that note that I'm playing, and it's wrong to call it a note because it's a frequency, and that frequency could be any note on an instrument, depending on the scale at which that instrument is tuned. But I'll talk more about that too. That's a deeper topic that we can get in, that I'll get into. I will get into in these 4 weeks coming up. But anyway, so with this, again, if you are doing things like, let's say you're meditating and, you don't have a drum, but you want to have some musical interaction or try to get your body to vibrate at a particular frequency, this is what you could do, right? I could sit here and pretend I'm meditating, right? But I'm on the live, so I'm not going to be doing everything. But here we go. You get the idea. So I can quiet myself down because I'm focusing on I'm being mindful. My attention is on this sound and on my breath as well. So it's another way, and I've got some other breathing tools that I have as well. But this is great too because it's I know a lot of times when people are trying to meditate or do mindful practices, often we have trouble breathing, right? Or it's like we're focused so much on our breathing. Well, when you put something like this in, you don't have to think about your breathing, right? You just breathe in deep and you blow out slowly until you no longer have any air. You take another deep breath and you do it again, right? So your mind is not thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Kind of a thing where a lot of times that ends up kind of it gets you away. And like I said, that's why a lot of time people spend 30 minutes trying to meditate, but it doesn't they're still focused on all the mechanics of what they're trying to do that they never get into that state. And so that's why it's going to be interesting to try out this other tone therapy as well, right? That I talked about. But anyway, this is a kind of example of kind of some of the tools and other stuff that I'll be sharing with people because again, you don't have to know how to sing, you don't have to know how to play an instrument, but adding something simple like this into some of your routines can make a huge difference, right? Because again, imagine watching a movie with no background music, right? Try it one time, right? In fact, it's really interesting if you watch the movie Coda. I think it's called. I can't remember if it's KODA or CODA that came out. Believe it was last year. It won Best Picture. I believe it won Best Picture. I know that the supporting actor in it won his award. But it's about a family of people who are deaf. And there was a point in the movie, again, so we're at home sitting here watching this movie. We're hearing everything, right? And there's a point in the movie where the sound just goes dead, right? And so it allows you to kind of put yourself into the position of this family because they were sitting there watching their daughter who could hear. She was singing, but they couldn't hear her sing. They could only see her face. And so again, think about and I mean that just shows you how much music actually adds to literally everything that we do and does have an impact on our emotions. And I'll tell you this, here's a little dirty secret, right? Is when you go into a store, the reason they're playing the background music they do is on purpose because that background music has been scientifically proven to get you to buy more shit. Okay? So if they can use it as a tool to make you buy more things, if they can use it as a way in movies to get your emotions up and down, right? So that you're feeling anxious at the anxious parts in the movie and you're feeling sad and you're feeling happy and you're feeling, relief at different times. Well, you can do the same thing as well uh, if you know how to use music as a tool. And in fact, what I'll tell you is most of you uh, don't realize some of the damage that certain music can have, especially if that music is used almost entirely by itself. And what I mean by that, again, because there's no good or there's no bad music. think of it like, broccoli is healthy. It's something good to eat. But if all you ate was broccoli, your body probably wouldn't be very healthy, would it? Right. And so we need a mix of a lot of these different things going on, and we can get that. Okay. John Green, John, hey, John, can it play Glory to Old Georgia in honor of Matt Stafford? Well, Matt, love Matt. His no, he was concussion protocol, so he didn't play this week. No, this only plays one note. But I do have, I put my harmonica back over there. But it's similar. It's a similar technique to a harmonica, right? Only a harmonica has many of these different tones on it, and blowing out or blowing in actually makes different music. And that's probably one that I'll share with about. Mohammed, you asked what the instrument is called again. This little thing is called a Love Tuner, Love tuner, Tuner. That's a brand name, but I don't know if anybody else makes it or not. But I found this one on Amazon. I'll put it up again a little closer. It's it's got a nice little picture on there, and you can see the etching on the bottom. But yeah, it's called a Love Tuner. I think it's about $70 or $80, at least was what I paid for it. But it makes a big difference, and I've used it. And like I said, I'll show you more ways to use things like this as well. But anyway, oh my gosh, I've gone 26 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I mean, I love doing this stuff, and like I said, it's as I learn how to use something, as I learn things, I'm just going to start sharing more, because again, as I told you, my friend kind of got that inspiration for me, and I felt it too the minute that she said it. I mean, I had the tingles in my body. Music, not trees, for me. Because it really is a way, like I said, not only to change your emotions around. Again, if you're in a funk, if you're not feeling good, if you want to feel better, there's literally ways that you can do it, and it doesn't really cost you, right? I mean, music is practically free. In fact, if you listen to it on YouTube and you listen to the ads, it is free that way, right? And so you can have access to things even like that, or to simple things, right? I mean, I'm not, you can go spend $3,000 to $5,000 on different tools. But I mean, unless you're really serious or a professional musician, you don't need to spend that. I mean, my harmonica was probably like $20, right? Some of my drums are a lot nicer, but that's because I chose to invest more into them because of who made them and the materials that they're made of. But there's a lot of cheaper options for everything that I would end up showing you. So again, thanks for listening. If anybody's got, I've got a few more minutes too, because it's almost 5:30 here. If you've got other questions or comments, you can put them in the chat as well. If I see them come through, like I said, I use a streaming software so that I can stream in different places. So sometimes your comments don't come through while the live is going. So I apologize, but there's really nothing I can do about it. But you can always obviously comment below the video wherever you are watching this, on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and they're on some different channels on Facebook as well. But if what I'm talking about is something that you're interested in, and you're like, hey, I want to know more about that. I am, like I said, I'm doing a 4-week master class. So it's 4 1.5-hour sessions. So 6 hours worth of content. Plus there's going to be actually, if you sign up before we start on the 21st, I'm throwing in a 1-hour one-on-one coaching session. And so for me, because I typically work with high paid executives, I get paid $1,000 an hour for my time. So, if you sign up for this class, it's only $300, you actually get $1,000 just right there from the free session with me. If you want to talk to me about music or anything else as well. And like I said, I'm kind of building out the course right now. I've already kind of got an outline of a lot of the things that we're going to talk about, but Part of it is going to be based on the people who are in the class and what they want to hear as well, right? Because I'm here to serve and share what I have. But obviously I give people what they want, what they need. And so that's going to be there. So anyway, I put the link, should have come through in the comments. I hope so. If not, just DM me, reach out to me. It's Bitly. So if you're familiar with Bitly, right? bit.ly/capital M. So it's Mefford Music, but the M's are capitalized. Mefford and music are capitalized. You can get more information about it there. But like I said, if you're interested, just let me know. I'm not here to twist your arm because if you don't want it, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to share with you. But those of you that do want to know more and want to get deeper, I got an option for you, right? So we'll see you over there. But I think I'm done, at least for now. 30 minutes. Have a great rest of your day. See you later.